My name is Callie Dompierre. I will be your math instructor for this section of college algebra. I am from Colorado. I have been teaching at Carl Albert since 2021, and I've been a math teacher a bit longer than that. I live in France right now, so I am not on campus. I'm not one of the teachers that has office hours that you can get in-person tutoring from. But there are a lot of resources within like the global Carl Albert, the emails you'll get and whatnot, and then also on our Blackboard about how you can get to a math teacher. You can also just go to the office hours of a different math teacher. They're all very nice here, if you prefer in-person help. But my biggest suggestion for this course, even though it's an online course and I'm far away, is to get help as soon as you need it. Um, it's a challenging course. There's a lot that we cover in a short amount of time. And if you're a little bit overwhelmed at the beginning, it's better to just start getting that help right away so that as you build up the skills in the beginning, the course will become easier, the course will become manageable, and you will learn everything you need to learn. The longer you wait to get that help, the more challenging it becomes because then you're going to have to catch up, things like that. So it's not ideal that I'm off campus, but there are resources available to you on campus and online for tutoring and for live one-on-one help. And that is my biggest, um, I guess, piece of advice for this course is to get help when you need it. All right. And since it is an online course and you're just going to be doing it on your computer, the rest of this video, I'm just going to share my screen and I'm going to go over some of the tools that we use in the class. All right, so we will start with Blackboard. Nope, sorry. That is where you're watching this video, right? So the other tab I had is my other favorite thing besides tutoring is Desmos. Okay, so this class you're going to need a calculator, but if you do not have a calculator, this website is a free calculator. So you just go to the website, there's nothing to download, and you go to Math Tools. The website is desmos.com. Math Tools, it will give you a scientific calculator, which is the one that we most first think of when we think of calculator, right? A nice thing about this calculator is that it will tell you if you have a fraction and you need that fraction in simplest form, it'll give you the decimal. And then over here, it will also simplify your fraction for you to make sure that you don't have to simplify your own fractions. If you put it in here, it will always give you the simplest form of it. It does a lot of other stuff. We'll be working with radicals. We'll be working with natural log and log, maybe E a little tiny bit. Other roots, exponents, things like that. This is a really easy to use. You just hit enter, it'll give you a new one. And then you can go 3. I hit shift and then the number 6. And then there's your exponent for you. So I find this format really easy to use. We do have a couple graphing units, and you can go to a graphing calculator as well. Y equals 5x, right? There it is. It will show you where it crosses the x-intercept and the y-intercept. If you put 2 lines up there, it'll show you where those 2 lines meet. There's a lot of handy things. So don't feel like you need to go out and buy a calculator. If you can just get used to this, you can use this during your homework, your quizzes, and your exams. And the more you get to know what it does, the easier it will make the course for sure. All right. So tutoring in Desmos. Now let's talk about our classroom. We have start here, which you were. Welcome video. Course overview just explains what you need for the course. So what you need for the course is a textbook, right? They say college classes have textbooks, but since it's an online class, the textbook is actually just access to the platform where we do our math. So that platform is called My Lab Math. I tend to accidentally call it My Math Lab, or it's just easier to say My Math Lab. So I frequently write it MML. That's what I mean when I write MML. Apologies, because that's confusing. And so your textbook if you're using if you would like an online textbook, you don't want a hardcover textbook, all you're purchasing is a code to get into that classroom. Something else. So when you come into our Blackboard classroom and you click Access MyLab Math, that will take you straight to the classroom in MyLab Math. So that's where you do all the work. That's where you'll even take the exams, all the homework. There is a textbook that you can look at, and there are some example problems, things like that. The rest is down here. I do lectures, and there are some notes that you can take. But the work is here. So what I would suggest, if you have not bought a textbook yet, what I would suggest is just click on Access MyLab Math. Click on it. It will take you to Pearson's. Oh, loop detected. I've pressed it too many times today. All right, so you'll press that. Maybe I can refresh it. Oh, that wasn't a refresh. Sorry, guys. I was on a Windows computer earlier today and it ruined my brain, I think, for now trying to do anything on a Mac. All right. Access MyLab Math. And then it says open Pearson. Pearson is just the publisher. So that's the platform. I don't think it'll work because I'm the teacher, but basically it'll take you to this. You'll log in. All right, let's log in. All right, you'll log in. You'll see a calendar of when assignments are due. Darn it, I really wanted to show you that. Let me pause this. Hold on. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to pause. All right, I got it to work. I'm so happy because I've been like trying to make this video all day. Now it's nighttime. There are mosquitoes biting me everywhere. And like all day, my neighbor was making all of this noise. Like I think he was using I don't know. I think he's like grinding trees or something. So I've been waiting all day to make this, and my internet outside isn't as good. And then if it wasn't going to let me into Pearson's, I was going to be like so upset. Anyway, let me share my screen again. All right. So here is our class. When you come in, you'll see this. This is the calendar. Today, the day you're watching is probably the 13th. Ignore those. Those just mean a start date. I'll try to move the start date back so you don't even see those. But when you go to the next week, you should be able to see what is due. So on Monday, the 18th, you'll have one assignment due. If it doesn't say quiz or exam, it's just a homework. Okay. So there's a homework due on Monday, a homework due on Wednesday, and then both a quiz and a homework due on Friday of next week. I tried to make it so that you don't have more than 4 assignments a week. And then I tried to make it so that after the exams, you have a day to like watch the next video before you have to do a homework the 2 days after the exam. But you can also view by month and see kind of like what our schedule is for the course. All right. Grade book, I guess you kind of want to know the weights, right? The weights of the assignments. So our tests are worth 70% of your grade. They're very important. Quizzes are worth 10% of your grade, and homework is worth 20% of your grade. You can retake the quizzes several times. It will just record your highest score. You can obviously redo the homework as much as you want. And then for exams, each exam, there is an exam retest if you would like to take it. You are not obligated to take it, and it will just take the highest of the 2 grades for that exam. Okay, so those are your grades. They will show up there. They will also show up in Blackboard because it's imported into Blackboard. So that's probably an easier way to find it than over here. But basically, you need your course home and how to get to oh, sorry, that's not student home. How to get to the assignments. You can just see I've set them all to be starting on Monday. And so that's why there's 42 assignments. So basically you can click on that, or you can click on that to start the assignment. Good. You can go through it, or you can pick whichever one. If you did all of them and you want to go back to number 12, you can click on 12. When you are in the questions, why did it pause? How long has it been paused? Oh no. Is my internet not good enough? Screen share. Come on. Is it not letting me screen share the homework? That's funny. All right. Basically, all right. Well, as you will find out, I was using Pearson's until 2022. So I used Pearson's for about a year and a half, and then we switched to a different platform, XYZ Homework. And so now I'm going back to Pearson's, and this is my first semester. And so you'll probably hear about it, but I don't always know what's going on. I'm assuming they're not letting me screen share for like security reasons, like because somebody might Zoom during a test. Anyway, when you are in the questions, I should share my screen again. When you're in the questions, there is a ask my instructor button, and you just type in what you want to type in. Tell me what question you're on. I don't know if it tells you, or just like take a screenshot maybe of the question, put it in there. Email, send me whatever your question is, and then that will go straight to my email. So that's a good way to reach me. Discussions on Blackboard is probably my favorite way for you to reach out to me because other people can see it. So you're not the only one with that question. Other people will see it. They will get the answer. We can kind of like get to know each other because it's hard to get to know each other when we're all just doing one thing online and not really interacting a lot. So please use discussions if you have any questions. But if you have specific math questions and you don't want everybody to know you have a math question, you can just hit that Ask My Instructor button and that will send an email to me. What else about Blackboard? Okay, or sorry, my math lab. So the most important thing about my math lab is I showed you how to click into it. So you click in and it says go to Pearson. When you go to Pearson, if you have not bought the textbook yet, sorry, I was supposed to finish that thought way back at the beginning of this. If you haven't bought a textbook yet, when you click on that, there is a way to log in with a 2-week free trial. Please do that. If you have not purchased the book yet, please do that. What that does is it gives you 14 days of access to our class. You have access to the e-textbook. You have access to the questions. You have exact same access as you would have if you had paid for it. But you have 2 weeks to decide, is this the right time for me to take this class? Is this the right class for me? Because when you buy this online textbook and you put in the code, you can't undo that. You can't just use that textbook next year, unfortunately. So please do the 2-week free access before you buy it. And then I think it will just ask you for credit card information for you to buy that after the 2 weeks to buy access. You can also buy it at the bookstore. It's more expensive at the bookstore, but I know some people's financial aid makes it so like that's the easiest way to do it. Do it however you need to do it. Reach out to me if you have any concerns about that. 2-week free trial. 2-week free trial, Desmos tutoring. Okay. That's what's important so far. Let me share my screen again. That was crazy. Back to Blackboard. So that was Access My Math Lab. Then there is, sorry, I didn't finish start here either. Okay, course overview, your textbooks, your computer. Oh, sorry, what you need. What you need for the class. What you need for the class is a computer with internet and access to My Math Lab. It says a graphing calculator, but you can use that website if you want. The other important thing about your computer is that it needs to have a webcam. If possible, if you can borrow one, if you already have one, it's really nice to get a webcam with a camera. Okay? Get a webcam that you can move around. A webcam with a camera. I think I'm nervous. A webcam that you can move around. So this one that I have, I just set it on top of my computer so you can see how I can move it around. That is great because the reason we need a webcam for this class is because you're going to be taking your exams online and they need to be proctored. And proctored just means somebody's watching you take the exam. So I need there to be a camera angle that I can see all of your work. I can see that there's no phone. I can see that there's nobody else. I can see that there's nobody zooming you the answers. Sorry, I didn't know that was possible. It's pretty interesting. So you can, if you have one that you can just plug in with a USB, you can put it next to you. You can put it way over here, prop it on something else. You don't have to just like be really far away from your camera because I'm really annoying about this. And I will, yeah, I won't count a test that doesn't show your work area. So in my case, if I didn't have a camera that moved around, I would have to kind of do this, I think. And then I would take the test here. This is what I would do. I guess I would keep my hands here. And then I would just like come up here to type. Um, you need, so basically the camera is because for all of the exams, I need to be able to see your hands for the duration of the exam. So I want that to be super extra clear. I don't want you to fail this class because you didn't have a webcam or because you didn't understand that. It's definitely like the thing that is the most, that like causes the most hiccups in the class, I would say, for students is not having the right webcam set up or not being able to take the exams in a way that shows that it's fair to everyone, that we know that everybody took the same exam in the same way. Good. So that's why it's good to have, you need a webcam. It's good to have a webcam that is movable. And then the subscription to my math lab 2 weeks after the class starts and a computer. That's what you need. Okay. Those are our supplies. What else? You're welcome. What is this? You're welcome to use, what is going on? Okay. You're welcome to use Google when you need to teach yourself something that you don't understand. You're welcome to use Desmos. You're welcome to use tutoring. You're welcome to use any technology that will help you understand what you need to understand. Don't use the technology that just gives you the answer because that doesn't show you how to do it yourself with a different set of numbers, right? But there's nothing wrong with like Googling how to do this. Don't feel like you are bothering anybody at Carl Albert if you need help. We are here to help you. It's our job to help you. Your job is to advocate for yourself so that you can get what you need out of this investment that you're making because you're investing your time, you're investing your money. Make sure that it's good for you and that you're doing the best for yourself. Okay. So don't feel like it's an inconvenience to ask for help. Okay. We are here to help you. It's our job to help you. This share screen is really killing me. Maybe it doesn't like full screen or something. Just do a tiny, tiny, tiny. All right. So that's that. Simple syllabus is the syllabus. All classes have a syllabus. Please read it. Take the syllabus quiz before the 22nd. The reason that it needs to be taken before the 22nd is because that is the next day maybe is the day that I have to do my roster finalization to make sure that nobody is signed up for the class and not attending the class and doesn't want to pay for the class. So if you haven't done the syllabus quiz by the 22nd or any other assignment, I'm just going to take you off the roster so that you do not get charged for the class because um, not doing any assignments for that long makes it seem like you are not meant to be in this class and we don't want to cost you any money. All right, so that's the syllabus quiz. It's a graded assignment and it will show up in your grade book. And so will all the other math assignments from my math lab. They will also show up in grade book. Academic Resource Center just gives you about information about the hours and the services of tutoring and other academic support. CaskTutor.com is a free online tutor. So it's like a one-on-one appointment that you can make to get help online. It's very helpful. It's very thorough. They can help you with any concept that we are learning in this class, and you can kind of do it whenever it is convenient for you. Good. And then there's just more student support information. So that was start here. Please read the syllabus. Please take the syllabus quiz. After that, we have something called HonorLock Access and Help. HonorLock is the way that we proctor the exams. So you'll click here. You'll read the HonorLock student guide, and that will explain to you how to prepare for the HonorLock exam. It's kind of comprehensive, and getting into the HonorLock proctoring service for the first time is really frustrating technologically for some people. So make sure you take the time to read that, understand what the expectations are for your behavior during the exam, for the camera angles during the exam, because if it's not followed, then the exam is not graded. It's just a 0. And that is a lot of work that a student did that they didn't get credit for if it's not done correctly. But it's very important that all of this is done correctly because that's the only way that we can be fair to all students. So please read the student guide. And then after you read the student guide, not only will that go through the expectations, that will also go through how to set up Honor Lock. Okay. And then you'll have it on your computer and you go start Honor Lock and then you start the exam. And it will record you during the exam, basically, which I know not everybody loves, but there are in-person classes if you would rather take exams like a traditional way. You can take a non-online version of this class, and that would make it so you could test in person, which might be easier. All right. This is saying Honor Lock issue because I'm currently in the Safari browser and you need to be in Chrome to work Honor Lock. But basically, you get to this folder, you come down here. When you're ready to take the exam, you click Carl Albert Honor Lock exam list. You click it and it will open up a list of exams. The only one that should be on there is the only 1 or 2 that are open for the day that you click on it. Click on it. It'll start the Honor Lock process, and then it will tell you to go open your My Math Lab exam, and that's how you take the exam. And you're just wherever you want. You're somewhere, I don't care where you take the exam, just somewhere that you feel like you can do your best, right? But without anybody talking to you, and obviously without phones, and in a place that it's easy to be recorded. It's not dark. There's not like, sometimes there's, not like this where there's sun or like sun right behind you, so I can't see anything. Those are exams. And then after that, you just have each of the weeks. Okay. So week 1, our first assignment's due Monday. So Monday is not until week 2, obviously, of the class, but during week 1, the intention is that you start doing the assignment, right? So, or sorry, you listen to the lecture and you write down notes. I don't know why I'm being so strange about this. All right. So basically, when you click on lecture video for that assignment, what you'll get is a link to a YouTube video, but you'll also get a PDF of the notes that I'm using in the video. So what I want you to do is I want you to download onto a tablet if you like to draw on tablets, or print out those notes so that you can follow along with what I'm doing in the video, in the lecture, on the notes. This is really important because these are our class hours, right? You need to be prepared to spend the 3 hours a week? 3 hours a week of lectures, 6 hours a week of studying. That's all real, even though this is online and we're not face to face. It's very, very important that you watch the lectures, that you take notes, that you understand the concepts, right? These are all building on each other. It's going to get easier as you get used to it. If you haven't done math in a while, you might need to get your math brain back, or your brain back into like a math mode. But it's very important that you do it. So print the notes if that is possible for you, and then watch the video. If it's not possible to print the notes, you can obviously just take notes on paper. But that is what that is. And if you just want, so the notes are above the video, or you can just also download them right there if you want. And then there's an Honor Lock button, which is the same Honor Lock button that's at the top. But I figured if you already had that week's assignments open and you are going to take an exam that week, you could also find it there. Our first exam is, I think I can stop sharing. Our first exam is called Exam H. It's not math, like there are math questions on it, but they're pretty easy math questions. You can retake that one up to 4 times just to get used to it, but it's not a math test. It's just a did you use honor lock correctly test. I have good camera angle? Are you not using your phone? Is it clear that you're not using your phone? Because I don't want you to be nervous for exam one about the math at the same time that you're nervous about the proctoring technology. So if we can take an exam of just the proctoring technology and then you can feel like, okay, I've already done this in one exam. Once you have the real math exams, that will be a lot less stressful for students who have exam stress. So exam H for honor lock is due in August. It's open now, so you can take it whenever you're ready. You can take it multiple times if you want. If you're not getting the right answers, but you did honor lock correctly, I can go in and give you 100 on the exam. Um, it's really just to make sure that you know what you're doing as far as proctoring and what the expectations are as far as proctoring. And I know I've talked about this a lot already and camera angles and whatnot, but it's because this is really important and this is what comes up the most, I guess, as like a question in the course. So there is an exam H due in August. It's not math related. You can retake it. It's to make sure you know how to proctor the exam. After that, we have 4 exams in the class. You can retake each one. In order to retake each exam, you need to complete the full review of that unit. It's just like before the exams, we have a mini review that's required, and then we have a full review that's not required. But you need to get a 75 on the full review to get to access the retake exam. And again, whichever of the 2 grades you score higher, the exam or the retake, that's the one we'll save. And I know this is getting a little bit into detail because I've seen this class before and you haven't. So I might be talking a little too much. What else? Please use discussions on Blackboard. I would love it. I would love it if we all were able to discuss things, get to know each other. Announcements will just be whenever I have to tell you something. Messages, you can either email me or you can send me a message through Blackboard. Either one is fine. I wonder if my Math Lab due dates come through. They do not to the calendar. That's right. Okay, announcements, but those will just pop up as soon as you log into the class if there is a new announcement that you haven't read. Let me see if there is anything else I am forgetting. I feel like you will find it in the syllabus if I am forgetting it. But mostly I just want you to know tutoring, 2-week free access, Desmos, learn how to use Desmos. It gives you so many answers if you just learn how to use it. I'm here to help you. Please reach out if you have any concerns about the class, if you think there's anything I should know about you. If you're struggling, please just let me know. What am I? I'm behind you by 7 hours. It's later here than it is there. So if you email me in the afternoon, I probably won't email you back until you'll read it the next morning. And I think that's all I've got. I'm looking forward to this, and I hope that you have a great semester. See you in there.